Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. A second ago, the Dolphin offense led out onto the field by their veteran quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. He and his mates in for a tough one as they get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
A terrific athlete, started at wide receiver before becoming the starting quarterback at Texas A&M, and also took his studies pretty seriously as well. He was a biology major at Texas A&M, planned to become an orthopedic surgeon, but being the 8th pick in the NFL draft, that paid just a little bit better.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. He'll be dropped at the 30, but a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan. It's time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Robert Kimdichie, we've heard about him since high school. How about that total package of power, speed, and agility?
Yeah, he was widely thought of as the best high school product his senior year, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Ole Miss was really happy to get him. How about that play he just did there? Welcome to the NFL, young man.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On 1st down, Blake, and he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We show you now the starters on the defensive side for Arizona. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Drake got the give from Tannehill. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Tannehill on third down. And he finds Stills, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Covington in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack, and remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Third and long, it's Tannehill. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was
snacks.
just going to say.
That's where I go.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray, and the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The starters on the defensive side of the ball for Miami. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Murray. This is intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Dolphins getting set to go here. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 18 carries, 62 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Back to throw, Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll make it 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Here's Tannehill. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath.
Counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here we go.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
James has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Murray. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a South Florida native, Patrick Peterson. Parker, the intended target.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Here's Murray. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Murray now. 2nd and 9. 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 2nd and 9 And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get out to the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And out come the Dolphins now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. On the crossing route, complete. It's Parker. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw on second down. Murray. And this is incomplete.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Murray. He's going to air it out for... It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
The extra point up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the Cardinals' sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Chandler Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. The Dolphins with the early lead. And we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The L on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Shedding the tackle. He dumps it off to Drake. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And now let's look at David Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, Murray. Wide Open receiver complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. Pushing his way inside the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Come on, let's go.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Point after, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll running right through it. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
On second down, here's Tannehill. And his pass incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Going deep here for Stills. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. It's a big play here for the Dolphins on third. 52 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go!
Throwing to start the drive. Murray, throw left side complete. That's James. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Hurry up, here we go!
Throwing on 1st down. Murray firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
All right, here we go.
Operating from the gun. Murray throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Tannehill. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Looking to throw. Murray. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, Murray. And this one is incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Back to throw. Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, Murray. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
To throw on 2nd down, Murray. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it's 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go. Green, 30.
Operating from the gun, Murray. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist released and pushed down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Gone!
From the gun, Murray. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The final shot here before the break. Tannehill. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin by heading up to Heinz Field, where we check in on the AFC North action between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And it's the Browns that have the lead in the second quarter. Baker Mayfield, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far, as he's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we check on the other Pennsylvania team as we head east to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they trail the visiting Cowboys at halftime. Ezekiel Elliott has run for a touchdown there. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Ryan Tannehill, who's had the hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And with flags down, he's up near the 40, but it looks like this one might be coming back.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now let's go!
Throwing on first down. Murray. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Dolphins have got it.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
The first carry for Patrick DeMarco. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Space to maneuver at the 40. A big run there by Johnson. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Here we go now.
On first down, Murray. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll try the option right here on 3rd down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie things at 17 all. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss...
They'll go with a keeper, and he will push forward and pick up the first down. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now...
Get up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because they're offensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, it totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw. Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I like the play call. Go to the play action, see if you can sneak your tight end out there and find him open in the end zone.
And just defensively, they weren't fooled and able to bat it away. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Tannehill on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 30! Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here we go now. Boom, land it.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the athleticism on this spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Ready, hot.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking that time for Stills, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. To throw is Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
3rd and 2, Tannehill. And running with power here. And it's caught by Parker. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 39 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Back to throw. He goes underneath the Drake. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He's back to throw. Open man is Uzama. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. He'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Drake.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Back to throw. And Wilson has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. Tannehill now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Good bounce back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cardinals, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Miami, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.